Hey guys, Pieguyrulz here, and welcome back to another Adventure Time TV log. Strap in, folks. This one's gonna be a two-parter, so it'll probably be a little bit of a long one. I have opinions on this episode. Oh, do I have opinions? So this is the big two-parter at the end of the season, here, because we're coming up. There's one more episode after this, but this is like the big two-parter. And it's a Lemongrab episode, although Lemongrab really isn't even in it. It's about Lemonhope. So the last time we had a true two-parter was Finn the Human, Jake the Dog, right? Like we've had we've had sequel episodes, and we've had things that one episode that leads into another one, that kind of thing. But we haven't had a true like two halves of the story back to back that are take place literally right after each other, that are both about the same thing, like a true two-parter. This is the one. And I heard rumors that the reason why Betty was so rushed is because it was supposed to be a two-parter, but they couldn't get both this and that to be a two-parter. Like, there just wasn't enough room in the season or whatever. So this one got the two-parter treatment, and that one became really rushed. I think that was a very poor decision. If that's true. I don't really know how all of these things work, but I didn't think this needed to be a two-parter. I really didn't. I think a lot of it could have been trimmed down. There are multiple dream sequences and symbolisms and all that, and I don't feel that it was necessary to tell the story. I talked last time about the symbolism of a lot of things related to Lumpy Space Princess and all that, like how that episode really came together. But this episode, I feel like it's just a lot of symbolism for the sake of symbolism. It's like, ooh, he's a puppet on strings. Ooh, he's, he can't be free because he needs to free his family. Ooh, like it's just, I don't know, it didn't really hit with me. And I think it's partially because we've had too many episodes away from Finn and Jake. Like, what happened, guys? I don't have a problem with there being episodes away from Finn and Jake, but I mean, Betty, okay, the Lumpy Space Princess episode, bad timing, and this are all like really close to each other, and none of them have really anything to do with Finn and Jake. Finn and Jake are in most of these episodes, or Finn is at least, but they're very background. And I mean, and there's Root Beer Guy, there's Rattleballs doesn't feature Jake at all. Like, there's been a lot of episodes really close to each other towards the end of the season here that don't feature Finn and Jake, or especially not Jake. Even in the next episode, Jake gets shafted. I don't know why. But so I don't really have a problem with these non-Finn and Jake episodes. I just think they need to be spaced out a little bit better, because I get burnt out on them. I think that Bad Timing was a way better episode than this Lemonhope two-parter. It told the story it needed to tell in 11 minutes. And I think really any good Adventure Time story can be told in 11 minutes. It leaves you wanting more. It leaves you wanting there to be another part to it somewhere down the line, but I mean, it didn't need it. I mean, there was a purpose. Like, there was a purpose for Holly Jolly Secrets to be a two-parter, because it led up to the big surprise twist. Like, it was a lot of build-up to that twist. If it had been 11 minutes of build-up, you could have told that story, but it really enhanced it to be this way. I bet you if you took out the dream sequences from this episode, it would be an 11-minute story. I bet you if you, I mean, you could probably cut out a little bit more, too, and it would be 11 minutes. Easily. So I'm talking like this, and you might get the feeling I didn't like this episode, and I don't really know. I felt it was too long. Like I said, I'm worn out on these type of episodes, but I also just felt like it didn't keep good pacing. And I don't really know if I agree with a lot of what the episode had to say. I mean, okay, so Lemonhope is this character that we've seen him, what is it, one other episode? Two, maybe? No, I think it was just one episode, last episode, featuring Lemongrab, and then this one. It was Lemonhope. And Lemonhope's a fine character. Like, I didn't have a problem with him. He reminds me of Milhouse for some reason. Maybe it's just the nose. Like, he's a cool character. I don't have a problem with him. He's got, like, some of Lemongrab's isms, but he's also definitely a tolerable protagonist. He's got some of Finn's, free-spirited, childlike, but without the, heroic need to help people. He's a cool character, but he's not someone like Lumpy Space Princess that you've really... Or even Betty. I mean, Betty came in. We don't really know much about Betty, but we kind of know things. We've heard things about her. And she comes in and she's just really cool all of a sudden. I mean, Lemonhope it's a new character. He's like a side character to the side character of Lemongrab. So already there's just like not a very strong connection I have to him. And then for the episode to be too long, for the episode to really like be another one that's away from Finn and Jake, it just... But anyway, so, and I don't know if I mean, I guess I agree with the message being that Lemonhope, the reason why Lemonhope had to go back was because his family is what saved him, so he owes his family to go back and help them, but he doesn't owe them to stay there, and I guess, and that makes sense. I like Lemongrab's theory, like, the episode does a decent job of balancing between freedom and responsibility, because Lemongrab does have the responsibility, but he's not going to do things the way Princess Bubblegum tells him to do it. He's his own kid or whatever, he comes up with his own way. He doesn't stick around at the end, and I like that. I'm glad he didn't do that, because really, whose fault this is? Whose fault this is? And I've been getting at this for a little while. It's Princess Bubblegum's fault. It is all her fault. I think there's an episode like that. With that title, but like, right? Because PB's responsible for Lemongrab and his ability to create life and giving him a kingdom and all that. Everything involving Lemongrab is 100% Bubblegum's responsibility, and she's the one that should be taking care of things. Yeah, there's treaties and stuff that prevent your fur from going in, but really, she's the one responsible. The episode plays with, and this is another thing I like about it, it plays with the chosen one trope, in that Lemonhope is just for some reason picked to be the lemon that is the savior. He is, Lemon Jesus or whatever. He was the one that came out right, I guess. The one that was pure enough to liberate everyone else. And what happens when that chosen one just doesn't really want to free everyone? Like, he wants to be a kid. He wants to do his own thing. Like, that was cool. I like that. And the animation in this episode is superb. Like, it's definitely a step up. Like, I like the animation usually, but this one really takes it a step beyond. And that's great, because, again, it's a two-parter. It's special. It deserves it. But I don't feel like this episode deserved to be the two-parter that got the animation bump that deserved it. I didn't feel like the Lemon saga was that of this much importance. I like Lemongrab. I like those episodes. I like that there's this ongoing story arc with Lemongrab, and he gets a twin, and he gets a kingdom, and he gets and then he gets life, and then he doesn't know what to do with the life, and then he becomes evil, and like, I like that saga, but I didn't feel like it was one. We already followed up on it like twice or three times at the point in this season. We didn't need a big finale to it yet. And is this the finale? Are we not going to see Lemongrab anymore? I mean, we definitely needed him to step back. How about just good Lemongrab or white Lemongrab or whatever? Lemongrab 2. I like him. I think he's cool. He's a cool character. I like that he was part of it. I think he should be the ruler of the Lemongrab kingdom. Like, Lemonhope's just a kid. Have white Lemongrab rule them all. So there's that. So yeah, and I don't know if you guys will agree with me on this. I'm kind of curious to see what the general consensus is, in that it's just, I don't think it was a bad episode. I just think it was misplaced and too long, and like, I don't even know what I would, aside from cutting it back, I don't really know what I would do to change it. I think if this were 11 minutes, I would be a lot happier with the episode. And if it didn't come off the backs of episodes like Betty and Bad Timing, where the main character was like no one, like, not a main character. Like, the main character of the episode was not a main character. If it didn't come off the backs of that, I probably would be going into this with a different opinion. But episode order matters, it does. So yeah, and this isn't a case of Cartoon Network doing anything differently. I'm really glad they aired the two parts at once. I mean, I was a little bit afraid that they would separate them, but it's really, I mean, it really is an episode that, from where it cuts off and where it begins again. Like, it was clear that there was supposed to be no cuts. But again, they're just, those dream sequences were just so unnecessary. All right, so I do have some regular notes on the episode that don't have anything to do with that. So I love the line "We've have it all." Like, that's such a Lemongrab ism. I think that, like, if I were to pick a slogan for the series, right? Adventure Time, we've have it all, right? Because it accentuates how weird the show is and how it does have it all, doesn't it? Right? So let's see. I like that there's a cupcake that looks like Mr. Cupcake in the cupcake drawer. I don't know why. It's just there. I like that Finn is in some sort of weird bubblegum school. Like, he's learning geometry from her. There's a cool pie chart on the wall that's a literal pie chart of pi, P-I. It's interesting. Lemonhope has Finn's flute. I don't know why. You know what? Maybe it's from the last episode. I really need to rewatch that one. The last Lemongrab episode. But yeah, he really takes a shining to Finn's flute, which is cool. Oh yeah, so then there's the ending. The ending that is probably like the coolest thing in the entire two-parter, where we get Bubblegum's really sweet song. That wasn't a pun. I guess it was. But we get a really cool song. We get to see the future, too. We get to see that, finally, at some point in the future, Bubblegum's kingdom comes crashing down around her. Which, good. I joke. I do like her as a character, but no, I'm seriously considering her to be stepping up and starting to be a bad guy. Not as good and sweet as everyone appears to see her. So we get to see that. We get to see Finn and Jake's tree grown up to the heavens. We don't really get to see what happens to anyone, but there's something, man. Something's going to happen at some point. We probably won't even see it in the show. I'd like to see, that'd be cool to see a future episode. Like, because we've seen episodes like Simon and Marcy where we see the distant past. What about the distant future? How cool would that be, right? So there's that. And then there's also, I should mention the, Flannel Boxing Day. He's a cool side character. Like I said, he's played by Creed. The guy's name is Creed, and Creed was the character he played on The Office. Yeah, so he's a cool character. There are things about this episode that I like, but overall I felt like it was a little bit too heavy-handed, and I'm going to show you all this dream symbolism, and the price of freedom, and you need to help others to be free. Like, it was a little bit heavy-handed. Come on. And bad episode placement. There's nothing else really. So yeah, Pieguyrulz out.